Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about somebody who you would most likely consider to be your twin flame. This is someone who feels that you activated their soul to find their true purpose and destiny in life and helped them to heal in ways that nobody else could. They want to apologize, but also show gratitude for what you have inspired in them and helped them to find. They're dreaming about you. So I do feel like this would be for someone who is in no contact with that twin flame. They were dreaming about things being better between the two of you and feeling like things could come back together or finally be happy again. They wish that they could stay in that dream forever because they know when they wake up, they know that the chances of the two of you actually being able to get back together might be a little bit less than ideal. So they're missing you, but there also seems to be some acceptance that it might not work out between the two of you because they haven't really done right by you. Hello, Stephen. Hello, Dwayne. Hello, Nat Nat. Hello, NWO. How are you doing? Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. You can find it in the description box along with more information on how to get additional content as a member. Thank you to the current members. I did just do a members only live stream and I do have some short videos to post for you as well. Hello, Joaquin. How are you doing? And also in that description box, you can find a link to my Etsy shop in case you're interested in a homemade soy candle. All right, let's dive in. I think we're going to start with, we're going to go with the Marseille Cat Tarot. What else do we have regarding this twin flame connection? Hello, Mavis. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good one. What else? We have the moon and the chariot. This is the dream state, right? In their dreams, they feel like they can come towards you or that they can move forward with you. Things seem to be a little bit easier in the 5D, but when they wake up or when they, are staring out the window at work, thinking about you, everything seems so distant or difficult. So that dream state is where they feel like they can connect with you, even though now you're likely in no contact. So we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. They feel like they finally understand the connection that the two of you have, even though for a long time they wanted to resist that. They felt like they needed to avoid the strong connection they felt with you because it made them face what they need to change about themselves, and that terrified them. Hello, Sean Whitney, how are you doing? Hello, CTF. Hello, Jason. How are you doing? What else do we have? Two of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Three of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Tower. So there's something here about the boundaries that you have set that has brought back or increased the stability in your life. In other words, when you chose to respect yourself and avoid the patterns and the immaturity or the toxic nature of this connection because this person was not healed, you got stronger. Your manifestation powers increased. And that's why there's more stability or some sense of achievement or success that you've been enjoying lately, while this other person has been realizing that being away from you is difficult and avoiding healing has done them no favors. So they're seeing some struggles or frustrations in their life while looking over or, hearing about good things happening in your life. Hey Mila, you're welcome to hang out in the live chat, but there's no place in our live chat for you to be trying to recruit people to believe the same thing. So please do not do the judgy thing, okay? What else do we have? We have the Ten of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and Justice. So you decided to invest more heavily in the healing that you were already very much so focused on. But I think you either blocked this person or you accepted that things were not going to work out. And as a result, you reclaimed that energy that had been tied up in hoping that things would go better or that things would finally come to fruition with this twin flame. In other words, when you accepted that they were not treating you the way that you deserve to be treated and reclaimed that energy, you were able to draw in the abundance and the blessings that were meant for you because you were not distracted. So some of you have made a lot of progress in your professional career. Some of you have made lots of progress with regards to your personal healing, your personal growth, because you stopped looking back, looking over your shoulder, wondering when this person was finally going to love you the way that you deserve to be loved. Instead, you showed yourself the love and the respect that you deserve. Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. It makes a big difference for my channel. Hello, Kimberly. How are you doing today? Knight of Swords, Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. So they're in this no contact energy and struggling with it, whereas you have found a way to make that work for you. They've tried to find someone like you or someone who loves them the way that you love them, and they haven't been able to find that. They're still looking externally for the truths and the love that they are capable of giving to themselves, right? This is the Soul Cat Tarot. I'm doing well. Thank you, Kimberly. What else do we have, please? Knight of Wands, Four of Pentacles in the reverse. They want to know if you've really given up completely on this. Is there any space in your mind or in your heart that still wants things to work out between you and your twin flame, or have you permanently decided to keep it moving? Have you literally given up on it? We have the Devil in the reverse and the Ace of Swords. Maybe some people would be sad to hear it actually spoken, but I think this is a reading for someone who's decided it didn't work out. That's okay. I accept it. But I can't be in a connection with somebody who doesn't want to continue to focus on healing and working on themselves if you're going to be unwilling to focus on the acknowledgments or the forgiveness or the forward movement, then I got to keep it moving. Hello, Daksha. How are you doing? So they feel like you've left them behind. They feel like you may even love someone new. Page of Cups, Temperance, Queen of Wands. Page of Wands in the reverse. Because it's been a long time since you've communicated and they felt like by now you would have reached out. They see you as an earth angel. Both of these cards have a cat with wings, angel's wings. They feel like people fall in love with you like every other Tuesday. They do feel like they have a special energy that people can tend to also fall in love with, or maybe they feel like people get very attracted to them physically, but there's no one who has touched their heart the way that you have. They're just nervous that if I actually reach out, would you just ignore me because of how I treated you the last time we were communicating? Would you just, block me or laugh? Are you really out here getting impatient about me answering a question that you deleted? That's weird. I can't even remember your name because you deleted it. Was it Daksha? Just so you know, what I do is I general reading for the first 35 minutes. And then those who have done super chats in those 35 minutes are put on a list. And I do those personal questions after the general reading. If you want me to do your question for you, you can put it in a super chat. Hello, Bobby. Hello, Synthesized. But I don't really like being continually interrupted. Just letting you know. Hello, Redbeard. How are you doing? Oh, you never know. They don't necessarily get to choose. Hello, Charles. How are you doing? Hello, Dana. How's your day? Thank you for the tip. Did my ex notice that it was me on the train today? I've added that for you. Thank you, Dana. And thank you, Nat, for explaining. What's up, Shaggy? I hope you're having a good day. Yes, no need to interview ghosts, right? Hello, Carrie. How are you doing? Grant, I hope it is an appearance fee that is commensurate with your skills. That's funny. What else do we have? 9 of Pentacles in the reverse, 6 of Swords in the reverse. They feel like they can't get their act together. This could be somebody who has gone from relationship to relationship but never really felt satisfied or connected to those individuals. Or this is somebody who feels like being emotionally connected to people is not a good use of their time. They may actually be the type who's very avoidant of those relationships. Take the energy how it resonates. But with the 6 of Swords in the reverse, there's always been this longing to reconnect with you and frustration over what seems to be you being unbothered. Like you can move on like it's nothing. They don't like that. They feel like there's a missed opportunity here, or that there is a love that no one could ever compare to, but you seem to be just fine loving yourself. They feel like you talk to them through music. But when they try to invest in friendships or relationships with other people, it's difficult for them to feel that sense of like being understood or that sense of belonging, because none of it is how they felt with you. Yeah, I hear you, Carrie. I want to be able to wear my t-shirts without it being too hot. Hello, Kathy. Feel free to put your request in a super chat and I will add you to the list. Welcome to the live chat. Hello, Jamaica. How we doing today? Hello, JR. How's your day going? King of Cups in the reverse. The Wheel and the Emperor. This is the Bianco Nero. Well, I'm not going to dive in quite yet. I got to tell you about these 3 cards. I'm getting ahead of myself. The Wheel. Okay, so they've made some progress here with their emotional frustrations, with their trauma, or finally forgiven someone. Look at that cat's face. I don't know. For me, it's communicating like, I know I messed up. I know that I pushed your sushi off the table. I know that I spilt your bottle of wine. I know I tracked my litter box stuff all over your kitchen floor. But could you find it in your heart to forgive me? Can we like get back to loving each other? Because there's been some change in their life, but I don't know that they feel confident enough that you would actually want to reconnect. They feel like the love that you two shared was mostly destructive for your life because they ghosted you or because they didn't want to claim you or pursue some sort of relationship with you. They feel like you just basically have written them off, right? Oh, I'm sending you a big hug, Dana. I know, that can get really frustrating. You identify with that cat. Oh, I hope it does take off for you, Kathy. Hello, Brian. How are you doing? So we have Death in the reverse and the Queen of Wands in the reverse. So they've been able to deal with some of those emotional issues, maybe forgiving an ex or forgiving someone from their family. But the issue is they still seem to prefer short-term connections or physical intimacy over letting people understand who they are or what they're about, because they automatically assume that other people who try to get close to them aren't going to be able to understand them the way that you understood them. Even from a distance or in no contact, they feel like you understand them better than other people. When they go to sleep at night, they're always hoping, you know, will I get to see my twin flame? 6 of Swords, 2 of Swords in the reverse. So they're on the verge of making a decision, and what they're trying to decide is, should I pop back up in your life? Should I show up? Should I bring you a gift? Should I deliver that letter of apology to you? Thank you, Kathy. Yes, it's always good to avoid that negative energy, CTF. Yeah, I mean, that's the definition of it, right? We have Page of Cups, 6 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and the 4 of Cups in the reverse. What if I send you a gift and it has an apology in it? See how we're like handing over this cup but looking the other way? Like, I don't know if you're gonna reject me. What are you doing? Like, they're nervous. What if I send you something and I don't put my name tied to it? What if I, you know, buy your book or compliment you to a stranger? They're like, how can I put some good energy towards this connection without having to wait for your response? Because I'm nervous that your response would be like, ew, no, I don't like that person. Leave me alone. Get out of my space. So your twin flame likes to dream about you because connecting with you in real life is a little bit scary. Because they know they did you wrong. Eight of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles. You walked away, you left this connection, you blocked me, or you told me to leave you alone, and everything seemed to get better for you. Does that mean that you associate my energy with failure or frustration or destruction or disappointment or betrayal? If I come back, will you think that the only thing that could potentially come of it is anger or frustration? They feel like you've just completely given up on it. They feel like they owe you some truth. I feel like at the very least, I need to tell you how much of a positive influence you had on my understanding of love. Because prior to you, I didn't know anything like unconditional love. I only knew that transactional kind of love, or the type of love where people just want you to make them feel good about themselves and then they walk away, because that's all that they had known before you. So we have the Tower in the reverse and the Moon in the reverse. I sleep a lot because in my dreams, I don't have to worry about never seeing you. In my dreams, I can just enjoy your company and not have to think about how you've blocked me and you don't miss me. They might be capable of lucid dreaming, but it's definitely a sense of escapism for them, because in real life, they're afraid that it's just done for. Hello, Victoria. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Raziel. How are you today? Victoria, I do personal questions after the general reading, which would be in about 13, 14 minutes. With priority to those who tip or donate, you can put your question in a super chat, or you can donate a membership to somebody else in the live chat. We have the Queen of Wands, the World in the reverse, and the King of Swords. They see you as having gotten wiser. You were always loving, you were always like dynamic, or there was this allure to you, but now they see you as being like a little bit more selective with regards to who you spend your time with. You might have become a bit more of a hermit. You might be more difficult to access, where when they initially got to know you, you were more social or more willing to entertain people who didn't know how to respect you. But since that time, you've made the decision to be a little more discerning, a little more buttoned up, or on your own. You don't need that external validation that a lot of people need. You're quite comfortable with being on your own. And they feel like, to some degree, part of the reason you got so comfortable being on your own is because of how they treated you. It's like, instead of that heartbreak between the two of you making you weak, it made you strong. You found a way to look at that and acknowledge, the reason that I'm being hurt by somebody like this is because I wasn't showing myself respect and putting up boundaries when somebody doesn't know how to treat me. So you learn from that situation how to be more capable on your own, or how to be more comfortable on your own. Hello, Gerline. How are you doing today? Thank you, Nat Nat. I'm glad to hear it, CTF. Hello, Gina. How are you doing? Hello, Ruth. If you would like me to pull some cards for you, feel free to put your question in a super chat. Thank you, Gerline. Let me add that for you. What are Shandon's feelings for me? I've added that for you. Thank you, Gerline. Yeah, that's probably why she won't reach out to you, Raziel, because it's just happening in a dream. Hello, Bobby. How are you doing today? The Emperor. The Fool in the reverse and the Queen of Swords. I knew she would come through. They see you as somebody who has some of the strongest boundaries that they've ever seen. And this is a person who likes to play games with boundaries. They like to have their own boundaries, but they don't really feel like people historically have been able to keep them at a distance. So you might expect them to see themselves as the Emperor. That's how they present themselves to others. It doesn't matter what their gender is. They like to be seen as somebody who makes the decisions or somebody who takes the actions. But you exposed what was not very Emperor-like about themselves to them, and then embodied the Emperor for them to see. It's like, oh, no, you've got those dance steps all wrong. Let me show you how it's done. Whatever it was, maybe it was the river dance, maybe it was the cumbia. You showed them what they were doing wrong. You bested them. You won that competition. If it was an arm wrestling match, they might have had bigger muscles, but you showed them how it was done. Hello, Pharaoh. How are you doing? Thank you, Nat Nat. Let me add that for you. What does my twin flame want to tell me? Thank you, Nat Nat. I've added that for you. That's a good approach, Redbeard. What's up, Beard of Red? You're funny. What else do we have? I don't know if I mentioned it, but this is the Spellcaster's Tarot. The Moon again. So Dreamland is where they feel like they can pretend like things are still possible between the two of you and that they haven't really messed it up completely. They know that there's a strong possibility that you are meeting somebody new, a divine counterpart that knows how to treat you, and that this kind of puts a cap on it. Like, it's just, that's the end. Now I can't reach you because you've encountered somebody who knows how to treat you, or you're content to treat yourself the way that you deserve to be treated. So can I possibly find the right words to gain access to you or see you again? Or have I completely lost my chance with you? Have you decided to move on without me? They want to see you, but they feel like there's somebody else in your energy. They feel like there's someone else who knows how to treat you, and you would just look at them as problems or toxic energy. Hello, Ruben. How are you doing today? Hello, Lynn. What's up? Hey, Ruth, you can put your request in a super chat if you want me to pull cards for you, okay? So we have Judgment in the reverse, Queen of Pentacles, and Empress. So you have found how to balance your energy between the Emperor and the Empress energy, all while they had been trying to prove to you that you needed their energy to complete that balance. Whether they identify you as divine feminine or divine masculine, they thought that they were the complement to that with an E, right? C-O-M-P-L-E. That's the kind of balancing energy that most people are looking for in a relationship. They didn't expect you to find that all on your own. That's what the twin flame journey is really about. It's not about finding the person who is like your destined soulmate and better than anybody else that you would ever find. It's the love that shows you how you are capable of being a complete being all on your own, that you don't need that other person. But they wanted to make you feel like you could only be happy with them and then disappear. Thank you, Pharaoh. Let me add that for you. I've added it. Thank you. Hey, Ruth, I've told you how this works, and you keep trying to get a free reading. I'm just putting you on a little bit of a timeout. Have I said hello to Ruben? I think I did. -1 for the genie. If anyone knows, it's probably Redbeard. But I don't know. He seems like a little bit tricky to get the details from. Is it under the rainbow, Redbeard? By the pot of gold? 4 of Pentacles. This is the stained glass tarot, by the way. So we've got the 4 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands in the reverse. So they're stressing about how you've been able to withhold your energy or stay in no contact longer than they expected you to. They felt like by now you would have reached out. They felt like by now you would have been trying to get them back or trying to reconcile, start that conversation again. But instead, it's crickets. They see nothing from you. This is why they feel like maybe you found somebody new. Hello, Whitney. Thank you for the tip. Can you tell me what my DM thinks of me right now? I've added that for you. Thank you, Whitney. And I'll start those personal questions here in the next couple of minutes. Strength in the reverse, King of Wands in the reverse. Oh, they mad at you now. They feel like they were always that temptation or that person that you couldn't forget. They thought they had control over you. They thought you looked at them as that missing puzzle piece, but instead you found that missing puzzle piece within yourself. So one of my favorite quotes, like literary quotes, would be from Albert Camus, which is, "It was in the midst of winter that I realized there was within me an invincible summer." I just think it's beautiful in terms of the actual words that are chosen, but the sentiment itself is so important for us to realize that we don't have to always be looking outside of ourselves for the happiness or the strength that we need. We have everything that we need. A lot of times that's a connection with your beliefs, your religious or your spiritual beliefs. A lot of times that's connected to finding that healing by forgiving and appreciating, accepting the reality that we have. But we're stronger than we often realize. This person didn't think that you were going to be able to realize that you could get what you want without having to put up with their BS, right? So another thing just to keep in mind, Ruth, is I prefer to be called Carmen. I don't like being called honey, okay? Hello, Michael. How are you doing? Five of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles. So you have established stability on your own. You have figured out how to be happy by yourself. And it is because of that that you are drawing in a divine counterpart, and they might be feeling that the hold they had over you has collapsed. Some of you may have done a cord cutting. Some of you may have released this person's energy or thrown away something that they had given to you. But they feel like there's something else happening and that you are no longer interested in finding a way to make it work with them. Thank you, Raziel. That's just one of those lines that sticks with me forever. I've even painted it. I'm glad to hear that, Michael. Raziel, if you haven't read The Prophet, I would highly recommend it. I feel like you would enjoy it. Perhaps it's already a favorite of yours. So we have the that's not Camus, by the way. I'm trying to remember the author's name. Khalil? Ooh, I can't remember. I think it starts with a G. But it's a very famous book. If you look up The Prophet, you'll find it. Five of Cups and the Magician in the reverse. They thought that they were some great, like, manifestation pro. They thought that they were better than you. And it's really not supposed to be a competition, but this is somebody who felt like by removing their energy from your life, that you would be missing them and at some point reach back out. They felt like they could manifest you back, but what they're realizing is much of their power that they claimed for their own, they got it because of the magic that you gave to their life. Thank you. Is it Gibran or Gibran? I think it's probably Gibran. And thank you, Nat. Nat, you got it too. Appreciate you. So now they're realizing that you're okay with the absence of them in your life and you're moving on. This is causing them to realize they really need to work on that remaining healing the way that you have. That's the only way forward, and they still might not be able to have you in their life. Yes, I have some pretty amazing moderators. You're right, Will. Awesome. I think you'd enjoy it. All right, let's dive into those personal questions. This is the Tarot of the Nile. We've got Dana, and then Gerline, and then Nat Nat, followed by Pharaoh, and then Whitney. For Dana, did Dana's ex notice that it was Dana on the train today? No. If anything, it would have been like, huh, that person kind of like could be, but didn't see your features well enough. I don't think they knew it was you. So we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse, the Six of Wands in the reverse, and the Page of Cups. I feel like there's something really upsetting that has your ex unable to really be super aware or observant of the things going on around them or the people around them. They feel stuck and unable to get what it is that they want. It's like they can see what they want right there. Nine of Cups would be like your wish fulfillment, right? But they don't feel like they can actually go and get what they want. So they're just kind of stumbling through life right now. So they may even have a little bit of like glossy eyes. But you, on the other hand, seem to be much more perceptive, which is why you picked up on the ex's energy or saw them. But this is just meant to be a reminder for you how far you've come and the kind of energy you're no longer accepting. So in a strange way, a confirmation of you being on the right path. And I'm sorry you had to deal with that, Dana. This is the Beginner's Tarot. Hello, Yvonne. How are you doing today? That's not too bad, Raziel. If you'd like me to pull some cards for you, Yvonne, feel free to put that in a super chat or donate a membership to someone else in the live chat. Hello, Dino. How are you doing today? All right, so we have Gerline up next. This is the Beginner's Tarot. What are Chandan's feelings for Gerline, please? What are Chandan's feelings for Gerline? The Hanged Man, the Ten of Cups in the reverse, Two of Swords in the reverse, Six of Pentacles in the reverse, and the World in the reverse. Ooh. It feels like there's some sort of failure to communicate, some selfishness or arrogance, a missed opportunity, making the wrong choice. I feel like there's some self-pity here. So it's like, I feel like things could be better if I had approached it the right way, but I feel like you're upset with me. So it looks like Chandan is feeling like things are not going the right way, and that maybe even like I owe you an apology. I should have approached things differently. Is there a way for us to improve the connection, even though there's some negative energy here? It feels like Chandan is at the same time feeling like I need to apologize, but I also want you to apologize. Like maybe I was overly sensitive or overreacted to a situation. So is there a desire to make things right? Yes. But it's like, I don't know how. I don't know how to approach this the right way. Hello, Jonathan. How are you doing today? Thank you, Nat Nat. Yes, the likes and subscribes help me a ton. So I hope that's helpful, Gerline, and that you enjoy the rest of your day. Let's see what we have for Nat Nat. This is the Spanish Tarot. Hello, DFA. How are we doing today? For Nat Nat, what does my twin flame want to tell me? What does Nat Nat's twin flame want to tell Nat Nat? Okay, so I'm hearing Britney Spears' You Drive Me Crazy. That's an old song. Interesting. There's obsessive energy with the Devil and the Fool. With the Six of Swords. Very similar to the general reading. There's a sense that you're doing better than they expected you to do. This person feels a little bit obsessed. They're trying to focus on work, but they feel like you do better at that. All right. They feel like they can't read you. I'm going to actually get a few from the Burning Heart Love Oracle. What does the twin flame want to tell Nat Nat? What does Nat Nat's twin flame want to tell Nat Nat, please? Sorry, Nat Nat. I just went right in for the hide because I don't have time for that. I appreciate that, JR. I want to reach out, but I don't know how. I fantasize about you. I don't feel like I deserve you, and I wish you were here with me. One more, please. I'm holding on to the memories of us. So at once you feel very close to them, like those memories feel like they happened yesterday, and at the same time, like there's no way to really reconnect or reconcile. There's certain memories, like 4 or 5 memories that just go on like repeat. Thank you. LOL, Redbeard. Thank you, DFA. Need to know about anything? I got you. Hello, Ezio. How we doing today? Should I reach out to V? It's her birthday today. I've added that for you. Thank you, Ezio. Hello, Victoria. Gifts are always fun, but they don't necessarily equate the same as the super chat. So if you're still looking for me to pull some cards for you, I would focus on doing a super chat donation or donating a membership to someone else. That being said, the jewels can be fun because they do, like for example, they could put glasses on me and they fall on my face, or like there have been like ears or like a pumpkin on my head, but I don't leverage those for the personal readings. I got you, Ezio. All right, let's see what we've got for Pharaoh. And Nat Nat, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Pharaoh, this is the Nightmare Before Christmas. What does Spirit want Pharaoh to know, please? What does Spirit want Pharaoh to know? Hello, Katie. I am indeed. The first 35 minutes of this is a general reading about a twin flame situation. And currently I'm doing personal readings with priority to those who tip or donate. What does Spirit want Pharaoh to know, please? There's someone pulling on your energy. You may be feeling some energy that is not your own, if that's impacting your mood, or maybe even if you're having some nightmares. It's because this person who has done you wrong in the past is trying to access your energy. So this could be someone who owes you an apology, whether that's a platonic individual or someone you were in a relationship with. This person's trying to find a way to work up the courage to communicate with you, but they feel like no matter how they approach you, you're probably just going to view them as somebody who was not willing to do right by you. So they do feel like you could help them improve a situation, or your advice would help them to navigate difficult waters. But this is somebody who has gotten advice from you in the past and not listened. So somebody who, even if you tell them this is the right path or this is how you get to where you want to be, they end up getting distracted. Like, ooh, piece of candy. And they're off and following the wrong crowd. Hello, Victoria. Thank you. Should I walk away from my marriage? I'm sorry you're going through difficult times. I'll pull some cards on that for you. What else for Pharaoh, please? So this is someone who admires you for being able to follow your intuition, but they don't follow their own intuition. This is someone that you've had to distance yourself from, or they sought the distance from you, but it's looking like they want advice or they want you to help them through a problem or address a problem. They feel like you would be able to make the situation better. Hey, Katie, I do free readings now and then based on what kind of questions. But right now, the best way would be to make sure that you subscribe and like or hype the video. When I hit 25,000 subscribers, I'm going to do free readings at the end of a live stream. I'm going to post so that you know when that reading happens. Thank you for the clapping seal, Nat Nat. Anything else for Pharaoh, please? Six of Candles or Six of Wands in the reverse. Six of Pentacles or Six of Presents and the Moon in the reverse. This is separate from that other message about someone who wants to get advice or someone who doesn't really listen to advice very well. There's something in your life, Pharaoh, that did not go as well as you were hoping or came through as like a bit of a failure or a missed opportunity. You're going to get another chance with this thing. There was someone who was sending negative energy your way when this disappointment or frustration happened, and that energy has been removed. So I feel like there is a new, like a second chance being granted to you. What is this? It's like the universe is making things right for you when somebody was being petty or vindictive. But that person, it's like someone who didn't want to hire you because they held a grudge, or someone who booted you from a friend group. That person's been removed. So there's negative energy that's been removed and an opportunity that fell through for you. You're going to get another chance with that. All right, let's see what else we have. Wishing you luck, Pharaoh. Next, we've got Whitney. We're going to use the Dragon's Tarot for you, Whitney. What does Whitney's DM think of Whitney at this time? You're welcome, Pharaoh. I wish you abundance. What does Whitney's DM think of Whitney at this time? Judgment in the reverse, Three of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. This is someone who feels like you made a decision too quickly. What decision? Five of Wands, Queen of Swords in reverse. It's like you got mad or you got defensive or you thought worse of me without letting me explain what was going on. Is this person being honest about this situation? No. So this is someone who's trying to manipulate you or the conversation. So this is like, you're unfair, or you judged me, or you thought, you know, things were worse than they really were, and here's why you were wrong. But they're trying to obfuscate. They're trying to talk around a situation in a way that limits their accountability. So it seems like gaslighting to me. Two of Swords in the reverse. The World in the reverse. There's unfinished business, or there's things you don't know. So you can't make a judgment like the way that you did. They're getting defensive. But I feel like you saw the truth for where it was, or for what it was. So is this person mad at Whitney? Yes. This person's like, no, let me tell you how it is. Let me tell you what the truth is. But I feel like you already know what the truth is. They just want to like rewrite it. The number 8 is important. They want to put a blindfold over your face and be like, no, let me tell you what to see. But you're more perceptive than this person gives you credit for, or than they're willing to admit. So does this person have good intentions towards Whitney? No. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Respectfully, this is somebody that you view as your DM who is not qualified for the position. You deserve better than this person. They're like, how do I say this? If they were to walk into a retail shop, they find the most expensive thing in the shop and they want it to be on clearance. I realize those are like last year's fashions over there and that's why they're on clearance, but I want the most expensive thing and I want it on a discount. I'm not saying that you're overpriced. What I'm saying is you have a lot to offer and they don't want to be honest with themselves about what they need to do to match that energy. So this is someone who feels like they can manipulate you. I don't like that. You deserve better than that. I wish you luck, and remember to trust your intuition, Whitney. It's very powerful. Let's see what we've got for DFA. This is the Royal Fez or the Moroccan Tarot. What does DFA need to know about anything? What does DFA need to know? Strength in the reverse, Ace of Wands, 9 of Cups in the reverse, 2 of Swords, and the 6 of Cups. There's an opportunity that is about to present itself to you, and you might have a little bit less confidence or courage than you give yourself credit for. Like, in other words, this would be somebody who feels like a sense of imposter syndrome when in reality, like, you got this. I'm going to give you a strange example. I have in the closet right over there a pair of roller skates. They're green, in case you're wondering. And if you scroll to the oldest of my shorts on my channel, you will find a couple of videos of me roller skating in my garage in those skates. I am very particular about where I roller skate, and I haven't done so in a while, because I feel like I can't handle roller skating on an average road because I might come across a pebble and trip and fall, right? when in reality, I only get better the more that I roller skate. So it's like you have this skill set or you have this ability, maybe it's even specifically your intuition, that you need to like admit to yourself you're better than you give yourself credit for. Because there's something here that you could potentially miss by thinking, I don't know, maybe it's even a job opening, right? You're like, I'm sure they want somebody who has more experience than me. You better apply. You better think higher of yourself because you are more skilled or more talented than you're giving you credit. You just, the confidence doesn't match how amazing you are. Whether this is roller skating or dating or a job opportunity, I need you to be like, actually, no, I'm awesome. In fact, I might even be the best. So it's DFA because you are A+, okay? So I need you to be a cheerleader for yourself, a better, louder, super rah, look at those pom-poms cheerleader for yourself. Because with the Two of Swords and the Six of Cups, there's something here that looks an awful lot like a blessing or an opportunity that you are stuck at the crossroads like, I don't know. Should I do that? Maybe. Yes, you should, because you're awesome. So we have the Chariot. This is saying green light, my friend. You're over here thinking it's a yellow or even a red light. No, it's a green light. Thank you, Will. I think if you go to the shorts section, you can do like a little drop down box which says oldest. If y'all want to make fun of me or make that like, you know, go viral or something. You can also, if you look at the skating videos in my shorts section, you can see my beloved cat Hambone. He's in the garage with me. Rest in peace. Okay. So we have the Two of Wands in the reverse, the Six of Wands, the High Priestess in the reverse, and the Five of Wands. You're over here giving too much credit to somebody else, like they're better than you. And I feel like making a big poster or a sign like, go DFA, you got this, you the best. Because what's this? This is victory. This is you getting what you want. But you're over here like worrying about the pebbles on the ground that might trip you up. No, I don't think so. So High Priestess is in the reverse because you're ignoring some expertise or knowledge, or you're ignoring a intuitive draw or pull or magnetism to this thing that is meant for you because you're worried about competition. You're a better dancer. You're a better singer. You're a better strategist. You know your stuff. So I need you to act like it. So go ahead and apply or go ahead and shoot your shot. You got this. Okay? Love you too. Hello, Zyke. How we doing? I hope you're having a wonderful day. What does my twin flame think of me? I've added that for you. Thank you, Zyke. Let's see what we've got for Ezio. This is the Weird Cat Tarot, because I like cats, especially the weird ones. All right. Yes. So if you need to, you can just like do a little cut of me saying, you are the best. That doesn't mean that, you know, you need to get all arrogant or be egotistical or anything, but I need you to be a little bit more positive. Maybe even just look in the mirror and be like, dang, you're looking good today. You know, I'm awesome. You could always watch the beginnings of Call Me Chris, because she starts all her videos with like something along the lines of, dang, you look good today. Little like pump you up energy, right? All right. What do we have for Ezio regarding whether or not Ezio should reach out to V on V's birthday? Thank you, DFA. No. stay strong. The time is not right. This is a half-cooked burrito situation. And I feel like you would, if you did reach out, you would reach out in a way that was kind or respectful or even like sweet. And it would end up with like a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth because you would feel, I feel like this person wouldn't respond. And then you'd be like, why did I do that? So is this saying that the timing is not quite right? So we've got the Eight of Swords in the reverse and the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. We have something that you don't know. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, so is Ezio about to find out something about V? There is a perception or a perspective that is changing because of healing. If you were to go back at this point, it would interrupt the healing. So in other words, let's say, whether this is platonic or romantic, if you reach out to this person and they were in the process of recognizing that they didn't treat you right, or that maybe they owe you an apology, even if you owe them one too. Maybe there's on both sides things that could have like gone better, right? You would be interrupting a process that is beneficial. So if you give it a little bit more time, I feel like it would be better received. Did she get Ezio's gift? No. At least not yet. I don't know if there's something or someone that got in the way, but I don't believe she did. Wheel of Fortune's in the reverse. This is someone who is learning some pretty important life lessons right now. No, that's unfair advertisement. That's false advertisement, Redbeard. I did not do a backflip. I think it's mostly me skating forwards in a circle or backwards. I am not that skilled. Okay, you guys. Y'all are funny. Hello, Alexandra. How are you doing? Hello, Indra. How's your day? Thank you, Will. Anything else for Ezio regarding V, please? There is, it's like if you're getting your hair permed and you get your hair wet partway through, it ruins the process. There's a process happening that's important for V, and you'll get a sign on when it makes sense on reaching back out. There's a recovery or a healing process that's happening right now. Yeah. Ace of Pentacles, Four of Swords. So there's some positive forward movement happening for V, and it may even end up being that V reaches out to you after this. So allow it to do its thing. Allow the healing to take place. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. I hope that means you have some delicious food to enjoy shortly. All right, let's see what we've got for Victoria. This is the Cosmic Woman Tarot for Victoria. Should Victoria walk away from marriage? Should Victoria walk away from her marriage? No. Queen of Cups in the reverse, Seven of Wands. There is still an ability to recover or work on this and reconcile. With the Seven of Wands, it is not quite the right time. There is effort that you've put in that is impacting your partner. So give it a little bit more time. I feel like somebody is recognizing they need to be a little bit more patient or a little bit more vulnerable with you. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Indra. A good conversation with Isabella. Is she interested in dating? I've added that for you. Thank you, Indra. Let's see what we've got for a little bit more for Victoria, please. What else does she need to know about her marriage? So your partner seems to have had some not so great examples or like a lack of role models where it concerns unconditional love. So perhaps your partner was raised by someone who is very transactional or very codependent or toxic. But with the Hanged Man, we have a change in perspective for your partner that enables a new approach, a greater sense of dedication or loyalty, a willingness to be more vulnerable. So is there something that Victoria needs to do for this process to have a positive impact on the relationship? Yes, there is a new approach or a renewed approach to communication between the two of you. There's encouragement here for you to choose your words cautiously because it allows for space for your partner to be more open about those emotions that he's been feeling. So in other words, I feel like he owes you a few apologies, right? If you approach it as, is there anything that you want to tell me or anything you want to say to me? Versus, so are you finally going to apologize to me? I'm not accusing you of doing that, but this is saying your approach to the conversation that allows him to communicate an apology is very important and allows for forward movement. Because I do feel like he's got a few things to say to you. A few apologies. But I think there's been some progress made, either going to a therapist or getting some advice or reading some books about marriage. I see a blindfold being removed from his eyes. An appreciation for we both need to work on this. I can't expect you to do all of the work. So accountability, basically. So with the Nine of Swords in the reverse, Six of Swords, this is somebody who really wants to show you that they're willing to work on this in a different way, in a more respectful and mature way. Hello, Emma. How are you doing today? And thank you, Rachel. Hello, Melanie. How are you today? So I see with the Nine of Cups, you getting something that you've been waiting for a long time. And with the moon, there is a gravitational pull that your partner is feeling towards you. I don't want to lose you, is what I'm hearing. So I hope that is helpful. I'm sending you healing energy. I hope things improve for you. And hello, Lee. How are we doing today? Thank you. I wrote a small letter to the head judge. What impact's gonna have? Okay. Impact of Lee's letter on judge. If any. I've got that added for you. Thank you, Lee. Hello, Alexandra. Feel free to put your question in a super chat and I will add it to the list. Well, good for you, Lee. We will dig into that and see what we've got for you. I'm proud of you. Let's see what we've got for Zyke. What does the twin flame think of Zyke, please? What does Zyke's twin flame think of Zyke? What does the twin flame think about Zyke, please? We have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse, the Hermit, King of Swords, and the 8 of Swords. There's a strange combination here in terms of their perception of you, being somebody who is a little bit codependent, but also quite wise or able to understand things. But it's like they feel like you need too much or you ask too much. This is someone who might be a little bit of kind of like cold or unwilling to be as emotional as you. So I feel like they kind of downplay the necessary emotional connection or downplay the connection that you share. This is someone who feels like you say certain things like too much or you expect too much communication from them. But what they don't seem to understand is they are just kind of like undermining or belittling you, your emotions, or the connection that you two share. So I don't know if this person's like Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, but it does kind of feel like they come through as overly analytical or like critical of people who are emotional, even though that emotion would be very helpful for this person. Hello, Mark. How are you doing? I hope so too, Lee. Hey, Alexandra. We've explained to you how those questions work. So if you could either connect with other people in the live chat or go ahead and do the super chat. But I'm trying to focus on their readings right now, okay? So we've got this twin flame who seems to be trying to ignore or like invalidate the emotional and spiritual connection between the two of you by making it like overly analytical or trying to put a lot of logic into an emotional situation. So they feel like maybe you're a little bit too quick to cry or to ask of things. They're trying to steel themselves against this emotion and focus on things that are more tangible. Perhaps because they feel uncomfortable how much they feel for you. And with the star in the reverse, there's some not really wanting to like face the healing that needs to happen or not wanting to give in to this magnetic pull they feel to you because they want to be in control. So they're looking at this connection and trying to describe it or trying to like reframe it so that they can feel that they have more control over the situation than they really do have. So like, do they love this person? They don't want to admit that they love you. They don't really feel that very easily. Again, very strong on the air energy here. This is someone who would want to say like, I enjoy your company, or I feel like, you know, you understand me to some degree, but they don't want to actually give in to the idea that this is a very strong love connection. So Zyke, I feel like this person still needs to go through some healing and they're struggling to give in to that like sense of connection that they have with you. All right, let's see what we have for Indra. This is the Romani Tarot. What about the connection with Indra and Isabella? Is she interested in dating? Is Isabella interested in dating Indra, please? Yes, although there is a tendency for Isabella to walk away. There could be some inconsistency here where one day she's showing interest and then the next day there is maybe even some hesitant like communication or silence. This is somebody who tends to be a little bit secretive or a little bit distant. Excuse me. With the Ten of Cups in the reverse, I do feel like Isabella grew up in a challenging home environment. So her like understanding of love may be a little bit different from yours, or there may have been some people who are more distant in terms of showing that love, not really wanting to be effusive or like comment like I love you or show affection. So with the Four of Cups in the reverse, this is somebody who's used to being kind of distant. You're welcome, Zyke. How does Isabella view Indra? Seven of Wands, the Page of Taurus or Page of Cups, and the Two of Wands in the reverse. Like, I hope this isn't rude. It seems to me like Isabella looks at you as kind of like a puppy. And this isn't going to be how everybody views puppies, but it's like, you're cute or you're endearing. It's nice to like pat you on the head, or it's fun to like play games with you every once in a while. But when it comes to having like substantial plans or determining whether or not I want something serious, it doesn't feel like she gets into that serious mindset. So I feel like she kind of undermines the importance of emotional connection, and that there could be a tendency for her to leave people in a state of heartbreak. So we have the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Koshus. This is someone who I feel has a little bit of a reputation for inspiring emotions in others, but avoiding relationships with the Hierophant in the reverse. There is like a lack of seriousness here, or a desire to keep people, again, at a distance. So I would be cautious, Indra. I'm not sure that this is someone who's going to be emotionally mature or vulnerable, and therefore the like possibility of heartbreak seems to be pretty big. All right, let's see what we've got for Lee. This is the Edgar Allan Poe, and let me write Rebecca's question down real quick as well. Thank you, Rebecca. Will I find love? I sure hope so. We will take a look at that for you. You're welcome, Indra. So for Lee, what will the impact be of Lee's letter on the judge, if any? Will there be an impact on the judge from the letter that Lee wrote? Yes. Will the impact be positive? Will it help Lee? Yes. Seven of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. You're helping the judge to see something a little bit more clearly. We have the Eight of Wands in the reverse and the Four of Pentacles. There seems to be something that this judge had either lost track of or was not necessarily ascribing much importance to. And you have made it clear that there's a decision or a multitude of decisions that have been made that are not a positive impact to your daughter's life. So this comes through as like an impact statement, like someone would read in front of the jury about what happens when, somebody breaks the law and, someone gets hurt. So rather than it being seen as like an angry display, we have someone who's appreciating the like collection of frustrating moments and how that impacts your daughter, and may even result in your daughter feeling like, she's not capable or she's not getting what she needs. So we've got this Four of Cups that I think is illustrating for the judge that there is inconsistency and a lack of routine or a lack of emotional connection that is impacting Sage in a negative way that needs to be dealt with. So is there going to be some sort of comment from the judge to Lee on this? No, I don't think they're going to like comment on it publicly, but I do feel like it's going to inform the judge on how they approach this going forward, because it does feel like there's some lack of stability that you have really underscored or called the judge's attention to that lack of stability on your ex's part. So I think this is positive. I don't think you're going to hear much about it, but I do feel like you're going to see that the judge is looking at the situation a little bit more closely or with a little bit more concern for your daughter. All right, let's see what we have for Rebecca. This is the Golden Art Nouveau. Will Rebecca find love, please? Will Rebecca find love? Queen of Swords, yes. The Chariot, the Devil, and the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. So you have more control over this than you think, Rebecca. You may be aware of a saying, a watched pot never boils. This is like if you're consistently looking like, are you love? Are you the love of my life? Are you going to fall in love with me? Is that love over there? Then it might be kind of pushing it away. So there's something here that is a good focus for you, a goal or a pastime. Maybe it's writing, maybe it's painting, maybe it's, you know, you build things or you sew things. But there's something here that is a good use of your time that takes your attention off of this questioning and wondering and waiting. And when you invest your energy into something else, that's when love shows up. Very much so a bit of a trope in terms of literature or TV, that when you stop looking for love, that's when you find it. And I do feel like it is around the corner for you, but it's important for you to invest your energy and your attention into something that is more personal or meant for your happiness, so that you aren't so distracted. And when you do that, you find this King of Cups energy, somebody who is emotionally stable and available. But it could be because you are focused on a pastime of yours, such as painting, maybe even in an artistic like group or a meetup. So invest more time in painting and you will find that love shows up. It is because you are so fixated on finding it that it is eluding you at this time. So enjoy your hobbies, enjoy your artistic expression, and the love that you are looking for will show up when you are not looking for it. Hello, Helder, how are you doing? All right, hello, Frederick. I hope you're having a good day. You're welcome, Rebecca. I hope you don't have long to wait for that. I love you all. I'm going to go eat some lunch. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. And thank you for hyping the video if you're able to. I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.